So I have spent 3 years running Google Ads account. These are the mistakes I made. So you don't have to make them. There is no theory. I just basically share what happened to me and my experience. So I hope you can learn from it and don't make the same mistakes. For instance, mistake number 1: I treat Google Ads and Facebook ads like they are the same thing. They're not even close. So the good way to explain how I see Google Ads is like, imagine that you looking for to purchase an engagement ring. So you go to a shop, you're in front of a shop, you see it's a jewelry, you go inside because you need an engagement ring, you go inside and then you decide if you're going to purchase or not. However, you still have an intent. You came from the house with the thought I'm going to buy an engagement ring. And more or less what it's like to go on Google Ads. So on Google Ads you type on the search bar engagement ring, you see like someone like a website promoted sponsor, let's say advertising, mention engagement ring, you click, you go to the website where they sell it, and obviously you can buy or not buy, is up to you. However, the point that I want to make is that on Google Ads there is an intent for you to actually purchase. You are sure that you want to buy, maybe not today, not tomorrow, but in the near future you want to purchase. On Meta, situation is different because in Meta you are passive scrolling, you aren't searching for engagement ring. If we can reflect to the same situation about the shop, you see a shop, they sell engagement ring, you see it, you see what they sell, and then you just walk by it because you don't actually need it. So the whole point about these two platforms and what I learned from it is all about the intent. Google Ads has an intent for you to purchase. Meta is just more like passive scrolling. It's more or less like Amazon. You know, on Amazon you go there, you want to buy something, you go to the search bar and you actually type it, but you have an intent to purchase. You want to get something ASAP. So Google catch people who already want something. On Meta, you make them want it because by creating content, you know, influencer making content, they kind of made you to buy. It's like, I'm sure you have purchased something from TikTok shop, TikTok normally, or on Meta, Instagram, Facebook. You weren't looking for something, but you know the video made you buy it. Both of them, they're perfectly working and they work really well. Which you suggest to use first? To be honest, it's all depends on what you sell. If you do sell something that people actually searching, I suggest you to go and advertise on Google. Obviously, the most important thing is that Meta, if you want to advertise in Meta, you need to have good creative, which could be video, carousel, or normal image. It needs to be well to attract your target audience. Instead on Meta is different because you need a keyword. Again, mistake number 2, which is related to that, I picked my keyword by guessing. When I started on Google Ads, I had no idea how to pick the keywords, which keyword. I just like double guessing. I wasn't sure, but now I know the best place to find them are 2. One is before even opening an account, there is a keyword planner. It's free. You type your service, it show you what people search and roughly how much would cost a click cost. Obviously there are estimate. When you launch an account, instead you can find the more keyword based on your service. After a couple of weeks, I would say 1 week, you start to see them on the search term report. So in order to see what people type based on your search term, that's more real data, is no forecast. I read my keyword every 2 weeks. I actually set up like an automation routine on Claude. I told him that's my keyword that I have on my account. I wanted to review them on the search term every 2 weeks. The one they actually work, generate traffic, they are actually on target, add them. The one don't add them. Third mistake, I told Google what I sell, but I never told them Google what I don't sell. Let me explain. That's the second important thing is the negative keyword. So negative keyword are something that there is not related to your business. There is not something that you sell. Keywords that are not related to your service or what you are trying to sell. I give an example of a shop. If you have a shop which sell car, obviously you don't sell ring. You need to make sure to clarify this to Google. How do you do that? I give an example. It's important that you basically go on Google and still on the search term, if they're not relevant, you set up as a negative keyword, because every wrong click you block is money back on your account pocket. So I also did this on cloud, because usually they add in the keyword, and also the negative keyword is something that you do manually. However, I managed to do it on cloud, that these are the negative keyword which I don't need it. Actually, I said these are the keyword that I want to rank for, whatever else block it. So read every week, 2 weeks, and add them as a negative keyword. Like I said, an example is if you are dealership, obviously you don't want to sell ring, so you need to, all the keywords which they are not reflect to your business product, you need to set up as a negative. The four mistakes is my headline didn't say what people actually type. This is something that I recently learned and improved my click-through rate and more click to the account. So it's very simple. Put the keyword in the headline word for word. I'll give an example. So if you sell luxury watches, on your headline just duplicate it, just write luxury watches. Why? Because you are going to click easy, like you search for luxury watch, you are more likely to click for another keyword which reflect to luxury watches, because you are actually looking for luxury watches, so you're matching what you're searching and what you're offering. So the headline says luxury watches, you basically affect your search. Same word, more clicks. Pin it, I suggest to pin it on the second page, on the first place, so it shows every time. People click what looks like what they just type. There is, now I'm talking about the big argument about broad match, phase match, sax match, and the strategy about the keyword. I'm not gonna go to talk about each step and the type of keyword. However, what I can just say to you is that broad, you just let Google a bit to the side, and phase match and exact match, you just have more control. Everyone has different opinion. I did a test by running a broad match, you get good result, but you spend more. Phase match, lower, like you attract better people, more better targeted, and less money you spend because you control a bit more. It's more like on Meta when you set up broad, and instead when you in the phase match you just put a filter. I want to attack the doctor, which they like luxury watches, for instance. I don't think there is a right answer on this, which is the best, because you should test it on your own account and see what performs better for you. I suggest 6 weeks as a start, but then could be a month, 2 months, 3 months, anything like a year is up to you. Read your numbers, do your testing. If works for you, good. Also depend on the product and service that you provide. Mistake number 5, I was putting everything under one ad group. Don't do that. For instance, if you sell luxury cars, van and convertible, back in the days I was putting all these product keywords under one group. Don't do that. I mentioned earlier, it's better to have each split them one group, ad group per idea. Now each ad group gets the right headline that match the search exactly. It's basically what I mentioned earlier. Make sure that each service has the right keyword and the headline. Performance max. I always like to match two next to a search, a Pmax. Now you need to know that the Pmax is very broad because it goes on YouTube, Gmail, Discovery, and Display. There is a good news and the bad news about running Pmax is that you definitely need to have good video. You can also run it without video, but if you want to have 10x, I will say video that maybe are viral on your social media channels. I will upload them as a short and then I will upload them on the video on the Pmax because this goes to YouTube. So definitely is a good win to have them. Secondly, you need to add the right signal. Is a campaign which is very broad. Pick up signal from everyone, your account, your website, and if I pick up the wrong signal, it can is broad by design. So if pick up the wrong signal, can give you wrong search term. So what I suggest to you, check the search term, you add them, but you should review them more often than the search. I will say weekly, especially at the beginning that you launch this campaign. If you let alone by mistake, if you don't touch the Pmax, it will spend your money on the wrong audience, and it's such a waste. Don't do that. And one of the most important things that I realized after a long time, conversion tracking or how is important. There is a trap because your account, if you don't tracking conversion correctly, is still working. It's still working without it. There is no issue about it. I mean, Google has already some conversion set up by default, which calls WhatsApp click and page views. So do you see, from this point of view by experience, you see conversion, but you see it's like everything is working, but it's not, because you're not actually optimized. The account is just guessing. Google Ads is guessing your audience, is trying. If you have Shopify and you have an e-commerce, it's a bit easier because the integration of conversion tracking should be easier, like add to cart and purchase should be easier to implement. But if you have a normal website, for instance, a WordPress, you just need to make sure that you're tracking form submission, phone tabs, and WhatsApp click or any other important thing that you want to be tracked for 50-second session, anything that for you is important to track on the website. Why is important? Because if you track what is happening on your website from Google Ads, keep it optimized and for instance, if for you is important to get more form submission, you want more, definitely set up a conversion and actually recording and working perfectly. You give a signal to Google and you say, I want more form submission, give it to me. Okay, so it is a good signal for Google to understand what you're actually looking for. My favorite part is obviously depend on the company and your target. If for instance phone call are important for you, by default Google track the second they are on the call. I suggest to set up at least, you can set up conversion on the phone call. I suggest 30-second minimum to be flagged as conversion. The reason why, usually if 10-second phone call, because Google track everything, any phone call, but usually if it's a 10-second phone call, it's probably a wrong number. If it's 30-second, usually it's a customer. So I suggest if the phone call are important for you, to set up a conversion, 30-second conversion minimum. So you give a good signal. So now Google knows what a good call look like, because that's all conversion tracker really is. So extraction, this is an analogy which is something came up today to me, which I think is very relevant, and the importance of traffic conversion. So think about hiring someone, okay? You want to hire someone in your company. You tell them exactly, obviously, what you want them to do, so they know how to do it. So if you don't tell them anything, they will just guess. They will see, they won't know what to do, right? And Google is exactly the same thing. it's no magic, it's just an employee without waiting for instructions. So Google keywords tell Google who to talk to, love it. Headlines tell Google what to say, and conversions tell Google what winnings looks like. So get the one wrong and the first two doesn't matter. Which one of these are you getting wrong right now? I would like to know in the comments. And then I run Google Ads and Meta campaign. So more lesson will come very soon. Thank you so much for watching.